Hello everyone, I am Sunil Kumar and today I am going to discuss about the recursion concept. See, what is recursion? Let's suppose if you are having a big problem and if you want to solve that problem, but that is a big problem and you are not able to solve that problem. So what you can do, you can divide that problem into smaller parts and you can solve the smaller problems. That is called the concept of recursion. See, let's say what is recursion? So this is very simple definition. A function calls itself again and again to solve a particular problem is called recursion. So what is the definition? A function which calls itself again and again to solve a particular problem is called recursion. So let us see, let us assume I am having a problem. Let's say I want to calculate factorial 5. So because I do not know what is the value of factorial 5 and I am considering this is very big value. See, so what recursion says, if you want to calculate factorial 5, so you first calculate factorial 4. So first you calculate factorial 4. If you are having the value of factorial 4, then you can simply multiply with 5. Now, so if this is again function calling, so I do not know the value of factorial 4. So before calculating factorial 4, you just calculate the value of factorial 3. You can calculate factorial 3 first, then you can simply multiply with 4. So that is what again you have calculated factorial 3 because this is big problem and you have divided into like smaller problems. Now factorial 4 is big problem, now it is reduced to factorial 3. Now, so this is again big problem. Now can you please divide this problem again. Now factorial 3, so if you want to calculate factorial 3, you can calculate first factorial 2 and you can multiply with factorial, you can simply multiply with 3. Now this is again function calling, so in order to calculate factorial 2, first calculate the factorial 1. Now you can multiply with 2, then you will get the value of factorial 2. Now this is what factorial 1 is, what factorial 1 and factorial 0 is always 1. So this is what the termination condition for recursion means. This is the value where function where this function is going to be stop, and this is the termination condition or a stop condition for this function. So see, what is the value for factorial 1? Factorial 1 is nothing but 1. So 2 into 1 is going to be 2. So factorial 2 is going to be 2. Now 3 into 2 is going to be 6. So it is going to return to the function who called this. So it is going to return 6. So 6 is going to be written factorial 3. Now 4 into 6 is going to be 24. So 24 will be returned to this factorial 4. 5 into 24 is what? 120. So 120. Now value of factorial 5 is 120. Means every time we are dividing a big problem into smaller problems and smaller problems, then again smaller problems, then again smaller problems. Once a problem is small, or then we should stop. Means what? See, what is the let us understand the properties of recursion also. So see the properties. Properties of recursion. What is the property? See, first property is what? It should have termination condition. This is the property number 1. And second is what? Means from one function to another function. From one function to another function, parameter or argument value should be changed. Parameter or argument value should be changed. So what is the meaning? Means initially we called for factorial 4, not factorial 4, so we called for factorial 5, then next calling was 5 into factorial 4. So see, here I am passing value 5, and in the next calling I am passing 4, in the next calling I am passing 3. So from one function to another function, parameter or argument value should be changed. We cannot keep the same value. So that is what the meaning. So these are the two properties of recursions. Let us try to understand recursion in detail. Let us say I want to calculate factorial n. In general, I want to calculate factorial n. So what I can write in general means, if I want to calculate factorial n, so first I can calculate factorial n minus 1, then I can multiply with n. So this is what the recurrence relation for factorial. So what is recurrence relation? Means a equivalent equation for calculating the factorial. So see, what is the recurrence relation? Recurrence relation. A recurrence relation for factorial. Let's say I want to calculate factorial n value. So what is the recurrence relation? Means if n is 0 or n is 1, then factorial value is always 1. So this is what the termination condition. This is termination condition. Else means if you are calculating for factorial, let's say factorial 2. So first I need to calculate factorial 1, then factorial 1 is always 1. So like this means if n value is greater than 1 or n value is greater than equal to 2. So then in that case I can call this equation or this function n into factorial n minus 1. N minus 1 when n greater than equal to 2. So this is what the recurrence relation for factorial n. Now let us see how it is going to be executed. Let's say if I execute for factorial 5, let's say I am executing for factorial 4, let's say. So n value is what? N value is 4. 4 equal to 0, no. 4 equal to 1, no. Now so this equation is going to be executed because 4 is greater than equal to 2. Condition is 2, so this is going to be executed. So now what is the n value? N value is 4 in this case. 4 into factorial 3. Now this is again function calling. So now this time n value is 3. So 3 equal to 0, no. 3 equal to 1, no. So again this is going to be executed. What is that? So see, so this is what? Factorial. So 3 into factorial 2. Factorial 2. Now again this is function calling. So but this time n value is what? 2. Now 2 equal to 0, no. 2 equal to 1, condition is false. So definitely this is going to be executed. So what is that? So 2 into factorial 1. Now so again this is function calling, so again it will execute for n value n equal to 1. So n value is 1 this time, and 1 equal to 0, no. 1 equal to 1, no. 1 equal to 1, sorry, this time condition is true. So it is going to return 1. So factorial 1 is what? 1. So 2 into 1, 2 into 1 is 2. So the factorial 2 is what? 2. Now 3 into 2 is what? 6. So factorial 6 is, so factorial 3 is 6. Now 4 into 6 is going to be 24. So factorial 4 is 24. So this is how it executes a recursion. Now let us write the recursive program for this recurrence relation. Let me write the recursive program also for this recurrence relation. Let's suppose I want to calculate factorial. I want to calculate factorial 5 or factorial n. So what is the termination condition if n equal to 0 or n equal to 1? Then it should return what? It should return 1. So this is what the termination condition for factorial. Now else means what? Means first we should calculate what? Factorial n minus 1. First we must calculate. So let's suppose I want to calculate factorial 5. So first I will calculate factorial 4, then I will multiply with n 5. So same I'm writing. So first I'll calculate factorial n minus 1, then I'll multiply with n. So this is how we can calculate. So let me first calculate factorial n and minus 1, then let me store that into variable, let's say a. So this is my statement number 1. Now I'm having the value of a, then I can multiply with n. So let's say b equal to n into a. Then finally I'm having factorial value, so I can simply return. So return b. So this is else part and this is what the ending resist. Okay, so let us see how this recursive function will execute in a stack. See, let us assume this is a stack. So let's say this is a stack. Now first of all, operating system will call the main method, and from main method, let's say I am executing for factorial 5. I'm calling there is a function calling for factorial let's say 4, factorial 4. So there is a calling for factorial 4 from the main method. Now then it will call this function. So from main method it will call this factorial 4. Now this is what let me write this is int n. This is int n, let's say. So this is what a local variable. So local variable when this function will be called from the main function. So this is local variables and it will take place in the memory. So let us say so this is n equal to, now we are executing for n equal to 4. So n value is 4 in this case. N value is 4. Now so we are calling for factorial 4. So factorial 4. So this is for factorial 4. This calling is from main methods for factorial 4. Now 4 equal to 0, no. 4 equal to 1, condition false. Then we will execute the else part. In the else part, how many statements are there? There are 3 statements. There are 3 statements. What are those? First statement is we have to in order to execute for factorial 4, we have to execute these 3 statements. So let me give the name. So this is my statement number 1, and this is my statement number 2, and this is my statement number 3, let's say. So first I will execute this. So what is this statement? This is factorial n minus 1. So factorial n minus 1 is what? So n value is 4, so it is going to be factorial 3. Now after completion of this, I must execute these 2 remaining statements. So let me write, because again it will call the factorial 3. Again it will call the factorial 3 and it will not execute the remaining 2 statements. So let me write, once I will complete this statement completely, then I must execute my pending statements. What are those statements? This is statement number 2. Let's say, let me remark. So this is, I have to execute this statement also. So this is what return address for me. So this is, I have to execute this statement 2 and this is statement 3. So these statement I have to execute after completion of this. Now but this is again calling factorial 3. So now this time n value is 3. This time n value is 3. So again this is local variable and it will again take place in the memory. So it will occupy memory. So n value is 3. This time n value is 3. Now 3 equal to 0, condition false. 3 equal to 1, condition false. So it will not execute. Now again we have to execute the else part. What is there in the else part? Again there are 3 statements. What are those statements? So a equal to factorial n minus 1. What is n minus 1? Factorial n minus 1 means factorial. So n value is 3. So it is going to be factorial 2. Now after completion of this, I have to execute statement number 2 and statement number 3. Statement number 2 and statement number 3. But again this is function calling, so I cannot immediately execute statement number 2 and statement number 3. So I have to execute for factorial 2 also. Now so see, when I will execute for factorial 2, so n value is 2 in this time. So n is 2. Now n equal to 2 equal to 0, no. 2 equal to 1, no. So now again I have to execute else part statements. So in the else part again there are 3 statements. What are those 3 statements? So now this time n is what? 2. Now so again I have to execute 3 statements. What are those 3 statements? So first is factorial. Now, so n minus 1 is nothing but factorial 1. Now second statement is what? So this is my second statement and this is my third statement. See, again this is function calling, so it will not immediately execute these two statements. So these two statements are pending statements. So now again it will call the factorial 1. This is what factorial 1. This is what factorial 1. Now again we are calling for 1. So n value is, this time n value is 1. This time n value is 1. Now so n value is 1 this time. So now 1 equal to 0, no, 1 equal to 1, condition is true. Condition is true. Then it will return 1. See, it will return 1 means what? To which function it is going to return 1? Means factorial 1 is factorial 1 has called this function, so it is going to return to factorial 1. So it is returning 1 to factorial 1. Factorial 1. So now A contains what? A contains 1 and this statement is executed completely. A contains 1 and this statement is executed completely because everything is completed on the top of the stack. So I can pop all the records from the top of the stack, or I can like pop all the activation records from the top of the stack. See, now I have completed this statement completely. Now immediately I can execute the next statement. What is next statement? 2 star. 2 star is nothing but my pending statement, which is b equal to n into a. Which is b equal to n into a. This is what my pending statement which I need to execute. Now in this case b value is what? In this case n value is 2. So it is going to be 2 into a value is what? 1. So ultimately b is what? B is 2. Now b contains finally 2. Now I have to so this statement is also completed. After completing of this statement completely, I can execute statement number 3. So statement number 3 is what? Return b. So I have to return b. B is what? 2. So to whom I have to return this b? So factorial 2 has called this, so I can return this b to this particular function. So 2 will be returned to this function. Now a contains 2. A contains 2. So this statement is also executed completely. Now I can execute next statement, which is 2 star. So what is 2 star? B equal to n into a. So b is what? B equal to n into a. So now what is the value of n in this case? So n is 3, a is what? A is 2. So ultimately b is going to be 6. Ultimately b is going to be 6. Then this statement is also completed. After completion of this current statement, I can execute my next statement, which is 3 star. What is 3 star? So 3 star is return b. So I have to return. So this statement is also completed, but this 6 will be returned to what? So this 6 will be returned to this function. So this will be returned to this factorial. So this is going to be 6. Now a contains what? 6. A contains what? 6. Now so this statement is also completed. Now after completion of this statement, I have to execute second statement, which is pending. Now what is pending statement? B equal to n into a. So b equal to n into a. So n value is what? N value is 4 and a value is 6. So it is going to be 24. So b contains 24 and this statement is also completed. After completion of this statement, I can execute 3 star. So what is 3 star? 3 star is nothing but return b. I have to return 24 to what function? Factorial 4. So 24 will be returned to this factorial 4. Now so this statement is this function is also completed. So each and everything is completed. So for factorial 4, now value is 24. So this is what the answer, how it will execute. Okay, let me make it a little bit more simple, so you can have more clarity. Let us see. Let's say let us assume so main function is calling. So from the main function I am calling for factorial 4. From the main function I am calling for the factorial 4. So now this function will be called factorial 4. So in this case factorial 4 will be called and n value in this case 4. Now So 4 equal to 0, 4 equal to 1 condition is false. So I have to execute these three statements. What are these three statements? These three statements is nothing but, so a equal to factorial n minus 1. So this is what, factorial n minus 1, and b equal to what, n into a, and return b. So this is what, return b. So this is what the statement. Okay, now but there is again function calling. So this is n minus, not n minus 1, actually it is 3. So n value is 4, so it is 3. So now again it is calling factorial 3. So let us say it is calling for factorial 3. Now, so in this case n value is what, n value is 3. So again 3 equal to 0, 3 equal to 1, no, condition false. So again it will execute all these three statements. So what are those three statements? A equal to factorial n minus 1, n minus 1 means what, 2. Second statement is b equal to n into a, then return b. Okay, so again it will call for factorial 2. So this time again it will call for factorial 2. So again it will call for factorial 2. So at this time n value is what, n value is 2. So now again 2 equal to 0, no, 2 equal to 1, no, condition false. So again we will execute the else part. So let me write this here. Now this is for factorial 2. So n value is what, n value is 2 in this case. Now so I can execute these three statements because this is else part. So a equal to factorial n value is 2, so in this it is going to be factorial 1. Now second statement is b equal to n into a. Third statement is what, return b. So but I cannot, I have not completed this statement. Again this is function calling. So again I have to execute for factorial 1. And n value is what, n value is 1 this time. So now see, one more time I am executing 1 equal to 0, 1 equal to 1. Yes, condition is true this time. So it will return 1. So it will return 1 means factorial, it will return 1 to what function? To it will return value 1 to this function who called this. So 1 will be returned to this function. Now this statement is completed completely. Now a contains 1. So let us say a value is 1 in this case. Now so I can this statement is completed, then I can execute the next statement. What is my next statement? So next statement is b equal to n into a. So 2 into 1, so b is what, 2. Now b contains 2. Now so I have to return b. So return b means what, to which function I am supposed to return b. So I'm supposed to return 2 to factorial 2, this function. So 2 will be returned to this particular function. Now so a contains 2. Now this statement is also completed. So I can execute immediately next statement. What is that statement? So n into a. So a value is 2, n value is 3. So it is going to be 6. So b value is 6. Now next statement, this statement is also completed. I can execute next statement. What is the next statement? Return b. So I am supposed to return 6 to what function? Who called this? So factorial 3 called this. So 6 is going to be returned to this function. Now a contains what? 6. Now what is the value of n? N is what? N is 4 and a is 6. So finally it is going to be 24. Now return b. 24 will be returned to what function? So 24 will be returned to this factorial 4. And so we called for factorial 4, and now we got the value for factorial 4, which is 24. So our program is completed completely. So this is how we can execute for factorial 4 or factorial n. So let us see one more method to execute this recursion. That method is called a tree method. So we can execute with the help of tree also. So let us see. Let's suppose I am calling for factorial, let's say 5. N value is 5. So let's say n value is 5. Now if I try to execute this code, n value is what? 5. See, so now 5 equal to 0, no. 5 equal to 1, no. Then this condition is false. So it means what? I have to execute all these statements in the else part. I have to execute the else part. Now in the else part there are three statements. What are those three statements? So first statement, second statement, and third statement. What is first statement? First statement is nothing but a equal to factorial n minus 1. So n is what? 5, so it is going to be 4. Now what is my second statement? B equal to n into a. This is my second statement. What is my third statement? Return b. So return b. Now, so see, in order to complete factorial 5 value, you have to execute this statement first. After completion of this statement, you can move to the next statement. After completion of this statement, then only you can move to the third statement. So always function calling will be done from left to right always. Means we can execute statements from left to right in tree. So see, this is what again function calling. Means I have to call for factorial 4 also. So if you call for factorial, so this time you are calling for 4 value n equal to 4. So 4 equal to 0, 4 equal to 1, condition false. Again you are going to execute else part. In the else part there are three statements. What are those three statements? So it is what? A equal to factorial 3. So this is next statement. So this is, you have to write this statement, n into a, and this is what? Return b. Correct. Okay, now see, again this is what? Function calling. So this time you are calling for 3. Now so again this condition is false, you have to execute for else part. So again you have to execute how many statements? 3 statements. What are those 3 statements? A equal to factorial 2 and b equal to n into a. Now then return b. Return b. Okay, now again this is what, in order to complete this you have to execute these 3 statements. So again factorial 2 you are calling for factorial 2 also this time. So condition is false, again you have to execute for these 3 statements. What are those 3 statements? So a equal to this is nothing but factorial 1, and this is what? B equal to n into a, and this is nothing but return b. Return b. This is return b. So see, now again this is in order to complete this you have to execute these 3 statements, and but from left to right. So again this is function calling. So this time you are executing for 1. Now see, 1 equal to 0, 1 equal to 1 condition is true, so it is going to return 1. So factorial 1 will so factorial 1 value will be 1. So a contains finally 1. Now let's say a contains 1. So this statement is completely executed. Now because how I can say this statement is completed completely, because it is not again calling other statements, because this is terminated, and so factorial 1 value is 1 in this case, and it is terminated, it is not calling any other function. So a value 1, so this is completed. Then I can move to the next statement. What is next statement in this case? So b equal to n into a. So what is the value of n in this case? So it is going to be 2. A is what? 1. So b value is what? B will become 2. And this, now after completion of this I can go to this return b. So what is return b? So b value will be returned to this function. So 2 will be returned to this factorial 2, because factorial 2 called these 3 functions, so it will be returned to this function only. Now finally a contains 2. A contains 2. Now so because this is also completed, because we have already completed these 3 statements, so this is also completed. After completion of this I can move to the next statement. So what is the value of n in this case? 3. A value is what? 2. Now so it is going to be, b is going to be 6. Now so this is also completed. Return b. So 6 will be returned to this function. So this is a will be finally 6. Now so this is also completed, because I have completed these 3 statements. After completion of these 3 statements, okay, this statement is also completed, so I can move to the next statement. So what is the next statement? B equal to n into a. N value is 4, a value is 6, so it is going to be 24, and 24 will be returned to this function. Now so this statement is also completed, because I have completed these 3 statements. That is the reason I am saying this statement is also completed. After completion of this statement I can move to the next statement. What is the next statement? So n value is what? 5, and a value is what? 24. So now it is going to be, b contains now finally 120, and 120 will be returned to this factorial. So this is also one of the approach to execute the recursion. So this is all about recursion. Thank you so much.